Feels good to be back. Feels good to be back. Hey guys, welcome back to the Weeb Army, where we discuss all the weeb shit in the world with a military attitude. That felt really awkward, but I'm rolling with it. So, it's been a little while since I've been able to record and or upload a video because, wouldn't you know it, been extremely busy once again, and things have been changing, moving around, all that kind of stuff. And I did record like 2 videos between this video and the previous video. However, I couldn't really upload them, so here I am. So this video is a video that I haven't done in about a year and a month and a half. I've been wanting to do these kinds of videos at least once a year, so here's that yearly video, because something that I can do easily. So I'm going to show off the new stuff that I got over the year. So I got quite a bit of stuff. So I'm just gonna start from top and go to bottom basically, because yeah, there is quite a bit of stuff. So I'm gonna start off with this wall scroll here. So this is a wall scroll of Keqing from Genshin Impact, and it is made of some actually pretty good material. I like it a lot, and the picture is very clear, and just the quality all around is very nice. And I'm very glad to be able to hang it up and somewhat show it in the videos for you guys. Now, moving on to the next thing here, we have a tapestry that is sitting right behind me of Mona from Genshin Impact. Now, this was something I got because I wanted to kind of change the vibe a little bit of the room, and this was something that I had bought because I had gotten some requests from people to change it up a bit to have it more anime related. So decided, let's get a huge freaking tapestry that I can just put right in the back and have it be best girl from Genshin Impact, Mona. And now we can get right into the figures. So starting on the right, my left, your right, I'm gonna start from right and go to left. So starting off, we have the Priestess 1/4 scale bunny figure, and this is a more recent edition that I have. She's very lovely and just all around amazing. And like, I definitely don't regret the fact that I got her, even though, as you'll see a little bit later on, these 1/4 scale figures are quite expensive. That's just how it is if you want to get into figure collecting. Moving on, we have our Chocola non-scale figure. That was probably one of the cheapest figures I have, and it is actually very good quality. It doesn't stand very tall. It's only like 5.5 inches maybe, but it's still very beautiful. And of course, I absolutely love Chocola, and you'll see that in a little bit. Next, we have our Chocola Nendroid, and this is an Nendroid that I've been waiting for over a year to get because of the coronavirus. It got pushed back, the date of release, and it was like a year and a half, I think, somewhere around there, until I could finally actually get my hands on her. And it's definitely another purchase that I really do enjoy a lot, because it fits perfectly on top right next to the big Chocola that I talked about previously. Now we're moving on to the 1/6 scale Chocola figure that is actually a cast-off figure, and I will try and show a little bit of it. There isn't a whole lot that I really can show, but I will do my best to try and show off as much as I can of the cast-off part of the figure. And of course, it's just a lovely figure all around anyways. Now we are going to go to the Edity Spencer figure from How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend. This is a very nice one. Doesn't have the the fishnet leggings like the other bunny girl 1/4 scale figures have. And that is because that's just how it is, because generally speaking, Freeing, the company that makes these, generally will come out with 2 figures, one with the leggings or the stockings or whatever, and one without. And so this is the one without. And then now we're gonna move on to my Iliasfeel 1/4 scale figure that is also a bunny girl as well. And this was a purchase that I made because I saw that they were available, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just get one. Now let's move on to probably my favorite figure that I have so far. And that would be my Netgear 1/4 scale bunny figure. This is a figure that I wanted, and I waited for like 2 years to get because, once again, COVID. Well, okay, so I pre-ordered a year prior to its release, and then it took another year for me to get it because it pushed its release date back a year, an entire freaking year. I was pissed, but at the same time, I'm glad that I was finally able to get my hands on it, because I was supposed to get that figure like months prior to making my second Weeb Collection video. But of course it didn't come in, so that's just how it is. Now, of course, got my 1/4 scale 02 figure over here. It's right behind me there. Now, that was my most expensive figure at $450. Yeah, I know. It's quite a bit of money. But that is my most expensive figure. It's funny because you would think that my second most expensive figure would have actually been one of the 1/4 scale bunny figures, but you'd actually be incorrect. My second most expensive figure that I have is actually this 1/7 scale Tulane altar figure. That is actually also one of my favorite figures that I have. It is just so cool. The base is awesome. It was definitely worth the money, but yes, that is the second most expensive figure that I own. Now, I have another cast-off figure here, which I am going to be getting another one here, and I was supposed to be getting it this month, but they decided to push it back again. So that's my luck. But anyways, I can't remember exactly the series of this. I'll put the name of it somewhere around. It's a very nice one, and I'll show as much as I can of it. But yeah, I like it very much. It sits in the back for now. Maybe I'll move it around eventually as I start getting more and more and more.
Nice.
Next, we got our Artoria Lily figure, which is actually one that I saw, and I was just like, what the hell, why not? Let's buy it. So I bought that figure as well, just because I kind of felt like it, and I do not regret it, obviously, because she is very beautiful and is very well painted as well. Next, we have my 1/7 scale Ishtar figure. This is also one of my favorites that I have because it is fairly large due to her bow being back there, and the sculpting and the painting of it is absolutely phenomenal as well. I love the detail that was put into it. Now we're gonna go to my Nagatoro figure, and this is another very nice one that I love a lot as well. And of course, like a lot of the figures, you can kind of like move it around, change it a little bit. So that's very, it's very good to be able to have figures that can kind of like move and shift a little bit. Now, that's not to say that they should be able to move and shift all the time, because sometimes I just want it the way that it is, and if I try and mess with it, it's gonna look like shit. But this is the configuration that I have it in currently, and it's the configuration that I actually prefer it in, because it's a lot more fun that way. Next is my 1/7 scale Megumin figure, and this is another one that I just saw that it was available, so I was like, what the hell, why not? The craftsmanship and the detail in it is very well done as well. Now we're gonna go on to my 1/7 scale Shaltir figure. And this is another one that I waited for over a year to get because they kept pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back. Oh yes, Daddy. Back and push. But it is one that I really wanted for a long time because I just love Shaltir a lot. She is definitely best girl. You Albedo fans can fight me over that, but yeah, I mean, Shaltir is definitely best. Now we're going to move on to my Momo Deviluk figure that I have, the bride version. This is a 1/6 scale, so it's actually fairly large. And I do actually have another one, which we'll see in a little bit, but this is a figure that I've wanted for a long time, and then when I found that I could get my hands on one, I just pulled the trigger and I just had to say yes. Now we're gonna go on to my bride Nino figure, which is a fairly nice figure, I would say. It's painted fairly well, and of course, Nino is just best girl in the quintessential quintuplets anyways. So that's just how that is. I mean, I didn't make the rules. This is just how it is. Now we're gonna go on to my 1/7 scale Ku Chulain figure. Just normal Lancer, you know. Just like most of these figures, this was another one where I saw it and I was just like, I have to get it. I have to, because, I mean, he is my favorite male character in the Fate series, and he is one of the best male anime characters of all time, in my opinion. Next, we're gonna move on to one that I actually got just a few days ago, from recording this video anyways. And that would be my 1/7 scale Kurumi Tokasaki figure, the, I guess, lingerie bedroom version. Well, so this is another figure that I really liked when I first saw it, and then when I got my hands on it, like physically, like actually in my hands, it actually is another one of those figures that actually looks better when I see it physically than just seeing pictures. Now, I would say most figures generally look a bit better in person than they do in pictures, but sometimes I would say probably about 40% of the time they don't look quite as good as they do in the pictures. Next, we're going to move on to another 1/7 scale Kurumi Tokasaki figure. This one just in her underwear, basically. And of course, I mean, who doesn't like Kurumi Tokasaki in her underwear, right? I mean, come on. Now we're going to move on to my non-scale Shui figure that is from the anime No Game No Life. And this is a figure that is actually very well done. Obviously, like I said, it's non-scale, so technically it's a bit smaller than what you would normally get with a figure, but that also means that the price point is far better, because she was actually quite cheap and the quality of her is actually very good. Now let's move on to the Rin Tosaka 1/7 scale figure racing version, I guess you could call it. This is a figure that when I saw it was available, once again, I was just like, gotta grab her. I gotta grab her before she is completely gone. And I do not regret it because she is absolutely amazing in every way, and obviously is going to continue to be sort of a centerpiece for my collection. Let's move on to my Momo Deviluk 1/6 scale Darkness version. This is a very well done figure, and the whole thing with this figure is it's been kind of weird. Because, like, I see it for pre-order, but then I have one, so I don't know where the hell I'm actually getting it from. But it's definitely 100% authentic, I can tell you that right now. Because there are some figures that even I have gotten where I'm just like, that is 100% not authentic in any way. So that's going to be the figures. So now let's move on to the plushies. So I have a Shizuru plushie who sits right here looking all cool. And of course, like with a lot of things I buy, I saw her and I was just like, gotta have her, so I'm gonna have her. And of course, that was the same situation with my Ereshkigal plushie as well. Because, I mean, you all remember the Rin Tosaka plushie. I do also have the Ereshkigal plushie and another Rin Tosaka plushie, or as I like to call her, Ring Tosucker. I have a Yui Hanasaka mouse pad from One Room. It's a very, very nice and comfortable mouse pad that I've been using for the past few weeks now that I've had it. It's very nice, very comfy, and because it's authentic, it's very nice and soft. Now let's move on to some manga here. So let's start off with My Dress Up Darling. Now I haven't gotten into it quite yet. It is still on the list of things, obviously, that I still need to read, because I kind of just bought a bunch of manga in bulk. So I only have volume 1, don't have volume 2, so it's gonna be a fairly short read. Now I also recently got The Girl with the Sanpaku Eyes volume 2, so that is another one. I haven't gotten into it yet, but I will be jumping into it fairly shortly because volume 1, I thought anyways, was actually quite good. Now of course, any collection wouldn't be great without having the first 3 volumes, at least, of High School DD light novel, because it is absolutely amazing in every way. Now, Monster Girl Encyclopedia volume 1 and 2, obviously I haven't gotten into volume 2 yet, but volume 1 is very good. It's a hardcover, and it just has a bunch of illustrations and obviously descriptions of each girl. That's because it's literally just an encyclopedia. And now for a classic manga here, Yurusei Yatsura, which is obviously, like I said, a classic. I only have volume 1 though, because I didn't really want to spend another like $40 to get the second volume, so there's volume 1 for now. I haven't gotten into it yet, but I certainly will be, because I know for a fact that it's a classic and it's very good. And now the light novel Trapped in a Dating Sim, volumes 1 and 2, which is light novel, and I've started it a bit and it's very good so far. So I mean, I can't wait to get into it more. Obviously haven't started into volume 2 yet because I haven't finished volume 1. Now, I also have the manga Love in Hell, which is also another pretty good story as well. Of course, gotta get the lewd stuff in there, you know? And then of course, I got the first 3 volumes of Plus Size Elf, which is another good one. Now obviously I haven't gotten into volume 2 or 3 yet, but volume 1 is actually very good. And of course, once again, also got to get the lewd stuff in there, right? Then of course I got The Conditions of Paradise, which is actually pretty fun, a pretty fun read so far. I can get into these series in depth a little bit more later on down the road, but that's going to be a little bit later on down the road. Now, I do also have just some films as well. I have Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel Spring Song on Blu-ray, which is one of my, this is my favorite anime film of all time. And then of course I have the entire Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel trilogy on DVD as well. Now, for honorable mentions, Handsome Squidward, obviously, duh. Also got my my Connor Assassin's Creed 3 figure as well, which is honestly very cool. I mean, it fits perfectly exactly where it is. Then of course I have my Justin Herbert helmet and my signed mini helmet from Justin Herbert as well. But that is going to be my entire collection for this year. So if you would like to see more from me for some reason, you can go subscribe to my gaming channel. I'll leave a link in the description below for that. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, why not share with your friends, your family, or whoever else you want. And I will see all you magnificent bastards in the next video.